Twitter currently has around 400 million users worldwide, with over 73 million users based in the US alone. Now, Twitter is a powerful platform to reach and engage with highly influential and specialized individuals. You can also use Twitter to simply create ads from dozens of ad formats to drive sales, build your followers, increase engagement, and more. Hey guys, Stewart here, welcome back to this channel, and if it's your first time here, thanks for joining me. Now today in this Twitter ads tutorial for beginners, I'm going to walk you through the process of how to create Twitter ads to grow your business in 2022. Okay, so before we launch into this tutorial, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already or if you're new to this channel, and that way you'll stay updated with actionable videos and tutorials designed to equip you with the skills, knowledge and tools to help your small business thrive online. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this Twitter ads tutorial for beginners. Okay, so to get started with creating ads on Twitter for your business, we first need to head over to our browser and type in ads.twitter.com, and that's going to take us to this web page. Then simply navigate up to the top right hand corner and ensure that your Twitter account is logged into. If you have not automatically been logged into the correct account, go ahead and log into your Twitter account. Then simply navigate back down the page under country and select the correct country that you're in. And this will add the currency for the country that you selected, which will be used throughout your account. So go ahead and ensure that your country and time zone is correct, then come down and click Let's Go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be asked inside our Twitter ads account is to select a campaign objective. This is essentially the goal that you want to achieve with your campaign. And the first option we have under awareness is reach. This is all about reaching as many people as we can with our ad on Twitter. Then next to awareness, we have consideration. And under consideration, we have a few goals, objectives that we can choose from. For example, what we can do within consideration is build our following. So this is going to help us build our followers on our Twitter account. We can also drive engagement by promoting tweets on our account. Now, if you have a website or an app, what you can do is focus on a specific CTA, call to action. So for example, I can drive people from Twitter to visit my website, or I can drive people from Twitter to install an app. And above app installs, we can also pair our ad with premium content. This allows us to put our ad on top of other video content that other publishers have created. And then we can also drive engagement through video views, get people to watch your video. Then under conversion, we have app re-engagements, get people to take action in your app. However, today what we're going to do is focus on website traffic. And this objective is all about driving people from Twitter, clicking on our ad, and sending them to our website. It could be a specific page on our website where we want people to perform a specific action. So go ahead and select the most appropriate goal for your Twitter ad. For the purpose of today's tutorial, we're going to go ahead and select website traffic and then navigate down to next. Okay, now before I guide you through the process of creating your first Twitter ad campaign, what you want to do is navigate up to your profile in the top right hand corner and click here, and simply come down and make sure that you've added a payment method. If you haven't already added a payment method, go ahead and add that payment method before you continue with your campaign. And as you can see under funding source, we've already gone ahead and added our Visa that we want to use to fund our Twitter ads. And your payment method will not be charged until your ads are up and running. Okay, so once you've added a new payment method and you've selected your objective, your campaign goal, then simply come down to campaign name and go ahead and name your new campaign. And for the purpose of today's tutorial, what I'm going to do is create an ad with the focus of promoting the triple threat strategy, which is a strategy that we implement for our small local business clients. And we want to drive our target audience to our website to to a specific page on our website where they can book a strategy session with us by simply clicking on our ad and arriving on our website page. Okay, so this is the first level of our ad, and that is the campaign level. Now, the structure and process of creating Twitter ads is very similar to creating ads on TikTok and Facebook. And for those that are also interested in learning how to create ads within TikTok and Facebook, what I'll do is link beginner tutorials down below that will take you through the process of creating ad campaigns using TikTok and Facebook. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete our campaign details. Now, once you've named your campaign, simply navigate down to daily budget. Now, if it's your first time creating an ad, we recommend that you add a total budget and then you add a start date and an end date, because a common mistake that beginners make is they add a daily budget, so how much they're willing to spend each day, but they do not specify an end time, an end date for that campaign. That can become a very costly mistake. So as a beginner, we recommend that you add a total budget. For example, what we're going to do is add $100. Then what you want to do is navigate over to the daily budget, and what I'm going to do is add $10. And then come down to start. This is where you want to select the start date of your ad. If I click here, I'm going to select the 16th, which is tomorrow. I'm happy with the time over here. Then if I navigate over to end and click specify time, this is where I want to add a end date. Now, if you're a complete beginner, this is exactly what you want to do. You want to add a start and an end date for your campaign. This allows you to know exactly how much money you're going to spend for this particular campaign. So if I click on this date here, I'm going to navigate back to February and then select the 25th of February, which is 10 days from the start date. And I'm happy with the time down here. So the total amount that I'm willing to spend over 10 days for this campaign is $100. Each day, my daily budget is $10. So I want to spend equally $10 a day for this campaign. Then simply come down to advanced and make sure that you have the recommended standard pacing selected. This is going to allow Twitter to deliver your ads efficiently throughout the day based on your daily ad spend. Then simply navigate down to next. And this will take us to the next section in creating our campaign, and that is the ad group details, the ad group level. So what we want to do is navigate up to ad group name and simply add your ad group name. And I'm going to call this Triple Threat Strategy Ad Group #1. Now, the reason I've added #1 is because within each campaign, you can create multiple ad groups. Think about your ad group as audience targeting. And so, for example, let's say that in your one campaign, you wanted to test 3 different audiences that you've created to see which ad group, which audience performs the best. Now, once you've added your group name, simply navigate down to delivery. Under total ad group budget, this is where you can add a budget for this specific ad group. Now, for example, let's say that your total campaign budget was $100 like we added in our campaign settings. And let's say that you wanted to create 4 ad groups and you wanted to distribute your $100 budget across all these ad groups evenly. Then what you would do is for each of the 4 ad groups, you would add $25. And that way each of your 4 ad groups will be allocated $25 to spend, and you can A/B test, you can measure each of these ad groups to see which ad group performs the best. However, for the purpose of today's tutorial, what we're going to do is just create one ad group. And if you're just creating one ad group, you can leave this empty. You can also add a start time and an end time for your specific ad groups. But again, because we're just running one ad group, we're going to leave that empty and then navigate down to goal. Then if we click here, and here we have the option to select site visits, link clicks, or conversions as our ad group goal. For the purpose of this tutorial, what we're going to do is just click link clicks. Now, if we decided to keep site visits selected, this is where you want to track specific events that happen on your website. However, because this is just a beginner's tutorial, we're not going to show you how to set up event tracking. We'll share this in a more advanced tutorial. So come down and click link clicks, because the goal for us is to send people to our website from our ad. Then come down to bid strategy, make sure that you have auto bid recommended. This will automatically maximize your results at the lowest price. This is recommended for complete beginners, especially if it's your first time creating an ad. Then scroll down to this section here, pay by, and this is where you want to make sure that you have link click selected. This means we'll pay every time that someone clicks on our ad. And then under measurement options, this is where we have more settings in regards to tracking. Again, we'll cover this in a more advanced tutorial. Then scroll down to demographics. And this is all about your audience targeting. This is all about specifying your audience that you want to target with your ad. Under gender, go ahead and select the gender. We're going to keep any selected. And then under age, we can go ahead and select age range. And because we want to target business owners, we're going to select here and then click on 25. So the age group that we're going to target is 25 and up. And then come down to location. This is where you want to target specific locations. So at the moment we have our home country selected, New Zealand. What I can do is also go ahead and add Australia. And as you can see, we have Australia down here. You can also type in regions, states, or cities. So I'm going to go ahead and click Australia. And I'm also going to type in Canada, and I can simply select the country Canada. And one last country I want to target is the US. And down here we have the United States. Under include, you can see that I'm targeting New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and the United States, so 4 countries. Then simply come down to language. Now, if your ad is in a specific language, you can go ahead and add your target audience's language down here. We're going to leave that blank and then scroll down to devices. Here you have the option to target specific operating systems. Now, because with this ad, I want to send people to my website, it doesn't matter what operating system that our audience is using. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these options. And you also have further targeting options for each of these operating systems. So for example, under iOS, I can select all, and I can go ahead and select the latest iOS if I like. We can also come down and select the device model. We can also select a carrier. However, for the purpose of today's tutorial and campaign, we're going to focus our targeting on all devices. Now, the reason that you would target specific operating systems is, let's say that you wanted to drive app installs, but your app was only available on Android. In that case, you would only want to target people that use Android. Or if your app is only available on iOS, then you would only target iOS operating systems. Okay, so what we're going to do is navigate down to custom audiences. So we've already specified our audience demographic for this ad group, and we've also specified the devices that we want to target with our ad. Then under custom audiences, we can go ahead and include or exclude custom audiences that we've created. However, because we haven't created any custom audiences, we're going to leave this and go ahead and create our audience by simply navigating down to targeting features. And then under keywords, this is where we can choose to include or exclude specific keywords that our audience is engaging with. These are keywords from tweets that they're engaging with, they're searching. So this is all based on keywords that are relevant to your audience. For example, what I'm going to do is add marketing. And as you can see, for marketing, we have a large global audience size. So I'm going to click this and then navigate up here and type in small business. And again, this is a large keyword that we're going to add and target. I'm also going to add local business, and I'm happy with those 3 keywords. And over on the right hand side, you can see an audience estimate based on the information you're inputting down here. We can also come down to follower lookalikes. This allows us to add other accounts that we know our audience is into. So that's going to take the followers of that account and find an audience that looks like those followers. So for example, I can add an account that I know my audience is interested in. And I'm going to come down and select ANZ Australia, which is a bank in Australia that I know that some of my audience in Australia will be using. I can also navigate up here and I'm going to type in Xero. And this is an accounting software for small businesses. So I'm going to go ahead and select here. And then I'm going to add one more, which is going to be Meta. And then click here and then exit out of that. So basically what this is going to allow me to do is distribute my ad in front of lookalike followers that are following these accounts. So basically small business owners, because that is essentially my audience that I want to target. And then simply come down to interests. These are the interests that your audience have. So for example, if I click here, I'm going to navigate up to business and then select business advertising, business software, entrepreneurship, small business, marketing, leadership, and technology. And I'm happy with that. However, you can go ahead and add additional interests if you like. And then come down to movies and TV shows. This is optional, and this is if you want to target individuals that watch specific movies or TV shows. Then we also have events. You can add events in here or conversation topics. So if there is a specific recent topic that you want to target, so those that are engaging with specific posts, content around a specific topic, you can target those. Then we can also navigate down to additional options. And this is where you have the option to retarget people who saw or engaged with your past tweets. You can also expand your audiences. And this is if you want to expand your targeting into other audiences that share similar characteristics to what you've added above. And you also have the option to target the followers of your account. So what I'm actually going to do is expand my audience by clicking here. And I can drag this to lookalike audiences that are defined. So lookalikes that most closely match your audience features. Then we can go expanded or we can go broad. But what I'm going to do is keep expanded selected. Now remember, like I mentioned, you can create multiple ad groups within your campaign. So you can target multiple different audiences if you like. So for example, what I could do is I can go ahead and copy this ad group that I've just created, or once I've finished creating this ad group. And then what I could do is change this. For example, maybe I could go defined and save that as a new ad group. Or I could change that to broad, and that could be another ad group. And then I could see which ad group performed the best. The ad group that was more defined, expanded, or was a broad targeted ad group. You could also change some of these keywords that we've added up above, or accounts or interests, and simply create new ad groups with those changes. And that way you can test your different audiences. So again, like I mentioned, it's ideal to have at least 3 ad groups within your campaign. Okay, so what we're going to do is scroll down the page, and under placements, we want to make sure that all Twitter placements are selected. Then if we scroll down to Twitter Audience Platform, here we have the option to extend our reach to the Twitter Audience Platform. And this basically allows you to reach your audience across different apps. So we're going to keep that turned on. And then under formats, this is where you can choose your specific formats. Again, as a beginner, I would keep all of these formats selected. Then come down to add category and choose the categories that describe your ad content. I'm just going to add business and marketing. Then come down and add your website. So I'm going to go ahead and add my website. And then once you've added your website domain, simply scroll down to creatives. And this is where we can start building our creative. So we've finished targeting our audience, we've finished with our ad group. Now what we're going to do is create the actual ad that we want to display on Twitter. Now you can choose to create a tweet, or you can use an existing tweet that you've created from your account. So for example, what I'm going to do is scroll down here and select this tweet over here. And as you can see, this is the tweet that we want to promote to send people to our website. Our #1 strategy for our small business clients, the triple threat strategy. Now the issue with this organic tweet that we created a few weeks back is it does not have a link that directs people to our website. So what I'm going to do is actually recreate this tweet by simply navigating up here and clicking create tweet, and then navigating up to add name, I'm going to add the triple threat strategy promotion. Then I'm going to come down and add my new tweet. And as you can see, I've quickly gone ahead and created my new ad. So make sure that your ad is compelling, it doesn't have too much text, and you have a link to your website. And as you can see, this is what my ad will look like. Your ad will have a small promoted tag down at the bottom of your ad. Then what I'm going to do is click carousel and then add my images. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and add one more image, and then navigate up to add media and click back. Navigate down the page, and I'm going to add a headline and then add website URL. This is the final destination of where you want to drive traffic to. And this is where people can book a consultation about the triple threat strategy. I'm going to go ahead and click apply to all media. So each of the images will send people to this website URL. Then once you've completed your ad, simply navigate up to the top and view what your ad will look like. And then once you're happy with your new ad, you can simply navigate up here and save as draft or schedule, or you can click tweet. And as you can see, your tweet is successfully saved. Come down and fill out this information or click close, and then navigate over to creatives and come down to tweets. And as you can see down here, we've created our new tweet creative. So what we're going to do now is head back to our campaign, and then back here under creatives, what we want to do is make sure that we have 0 tweets selected, 0 selected display creatives, then come down to organic tweets, click here, and come down to promoted only tweets. And this will generate the ad that we just created, the promoted only tweet. Simply click here, and then navigate over to preview, and this is exactly how our ad will look. Simply cancel out of this, and then once you've selected either an organic tweet that you created earlier or a promoted only tweet that you just created with the editor, come down and click next. And here what you want to do is make sure that you take the time to review your campaign details as well as your ad group details. Remember, within your campaign you can go ahead and add and create an additional ad group, or you can copy this ad group and then change a few of the targeting options so that you're targeting at least 3 different ad groups, so you can test which ad group, which audience performs the best. So once you've reviewed your campaign details, simply come down and click Launch Campaign. And that's going to take us back to our Ads Manager. And down here you can see our new campaign that we just created. You can see the start date, the end date, you can see the total budget, impressions, spends, and results. Now remember, our goal was link clicks, and you can see those link clicks over here, as well as other information like results rate, cost per result, daily budget, and the remaining campaign budget. However, that is everything we wanted to cover in this beginner's tutorial, helping you get started with Twitter ads. And there we have it, guys. That is it for this complete Twitter ads tutorial for beginners. Now, if you have any questions about this process, make sure to pop them down below. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this tutorial all the way through to the end. If you got value, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to this channel, and that way I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.